Hello everybody and welcome to Blatant Advertising with Gary. How are you all this evening? It is good to have you here. Let's just get the chat popped out where I want it to be. On my screen. Indeed, Alex, shameless plug. We would never have shameless plugs around here. I think that, well, my chat's got all funny on my screen. Let's see if we can... Oh, that looks good. I hope that's worked. That's good if it has. We will find out shortly. So, how is everyone today? All the shameless plugs being had, as you can see. Only £7 and children go free. What great value. Hashtag not sponsored. Can I sponsor myself? Is that even a thing? Right, so... everything looks fine this end. Yes, it's all fine your end. It's on my screen that I'm playing with stuff. So... hello, Corbs. Welcome. How are you? Long time no see. The multimeter's finally made it back from club. So... we can finally do some actual testing. Oh, I see we've got chat on the screen again. I'd not noticed that. I was too busy playing with the stuff I've been setting up. So yes, we have the multimeter. That means we can actually play with sorting out the short circuits that we have been having. Best move that off to the side. Don't want to cover this lovely thing up, do we? Of course, the problem is we left it in a bit of a state last week. Sorry, not being able to tune in for you. Well, I'm glad you are well. It is good to have you here. I totally understand not everyone can make it every time, Corbs. I've heard a rumour that there are people out there that have lives. I'm glad you approve of the multimeter, James. It is good to know that you do. I believe that's everything we'll be needing, including the body, which can sit in the background and look very pretty. Oh, move the mouse cursor out my way. Lives, no idea what that... exactly, James. I've heard a rumour that people have them. I'm not one of them. People having lives is a myth, like people who like the Great Western. I'm sure Christopher will be along in a minute to tell you something about liking the Great Western, Alex. Oh, there's no nut on that at all. I hope that's in this box. Oh, there it is. Yes, that is it. Good, we found it. So yes, I got my shameless plug for the show in the thumbnail, I thought I'd up it by managing to get the whole of the flyer into the background of the stream. So first things first, we're going to put the wheels back on, and then we're going to do a continuity test on the multimeter. Ooh, starting early this evening. Great Western for life. I knew someone would have to correct him. Nothing on Great Western. Great Western, how would people go to in London go to Bristol or vice versa? Having never been to Bristol, I can't really comment. That's the wrong wheel. Let's at least use the right wheels. For those that don't remember, the rear drivers have larger weights than the front ones. Hello Max, welcome to the stream. How are you this evening? Someone who is not affected by my blatant advertising. Don't worry, you aren't missing much. Hello Harry, welcome. How are you this evening? It is good to see you. Well, welcome to the stream. Oh wait, it's live. Yes, yes it is, A1. Did you disappear again after talking in pre-stream? It's good to see so many of you here. UK Train Spotting. Hello, welcome to the stream, UK Train Spotting. How are you this evening? Welcome to the stream. I must say I'm feeling the audience on the whole is very pro Great Western this evening. Fab bought them, can't it? Oh, you gave it. Yes, indeed. I saw. We discussed that on Twitter earlier, Max. It's very nice looking. I'm glad you are happy with it. I am very well, thanks, Harry and UK Train Spotting. I've had a very rushed day, and it is nice to be able to sit down, do some modelling, and talk to you fine people. Will be a nice restoration project. We'll convert it to AC to have a Lionel motor. Oh, excellent, Max. That'll be very good to see it running one day. Very outnumbered you are indeed, Alex. Good evening, Linny. Welcome. How are you this evening? It is good to have you here. Yeah, I'm sure you can still see all the important details of the flyer. Wouldn't want you to miss anything of it. Whether it's Great Western, Midland, Great Eastern, Highland, London, Tilbury, Southend, Met, Welsh Highland, Derbyshire. Pro Railways, yeah. I agree, James. I'm very pro railways. All GWR somehow. Not too thanks, especially Alex. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, Linny. Plugging the show, I see. No, not at all. I don't know what you're on about. There are no shameless plugs here. Right, continuity. Yes, it is working. Good. unwrap these cables from each other so I can actually use it properly. See, I'd never shamelessly plug the show, ever. Actually, it was someone else at club that came up with the idea of using it in the background of the stream, and I thought, well, where can I put it to be in the background of the stream? Underneath my plate of glass seems as good a place as any. I'm not sure where I can put the multimeter where you guys will get a better view on it. Well, that wheel's shorting out to the chassis. So is that one. And that one. Oh, that one might not be. That might be our one and only wheel that's not shorting. Yes, that wheel is fine. There we go. Be sold at LTSR Pro Railway forever. It is a cunning plug plan. Yes, it's great. Although I did get my dates wrong, as I'm sure you all noticed by the different video going up, it is this Thursday that I can reveal what layouts are coming to the show. So do keep an eye out for that video on Thursday. You did, however, get a nice update to the D1. I've been really looking forward to getting that video out, so I hope you all did enjoy. Good evening, Red. Welcome. And good evening, Killian. Welcome. How are you both this evening? It is good to have you here. So, out of all four wheels, this one doesn't short out to the chassis. I mean, it's a start, yeah. If we can get this one to not short out, then it should be okay in theory. In theory, he says. Suppose really I should check these two wheels don't short out across the back here. Sitting here, painting some Space Marine Honour Guard, drinking some cider, just enjoying my Sunday evening. Sounds very nice, Red. Very nice indeed. What variety of cider do you have? It's been a long while since I've had any. Just cleaned the brushes on my Lone Star Diesel. They're tiny. Very nice. Computer has gone peculiar. I'll have to restart. I will be back. Okay, James. I will see you back shortly then. Now, even when pressed right in, they're not shorting out to the chassis, so those wheels are fine. And since the bogey's sitting there, we're going to test the bogey wheel sets as well. Oh, that one is. I think I can see that shorting on the brake gear there. Let's move that away a moment. Yep, that was the brakes there. Copperberg alcohol free, all very nice. I do like Copperberg. So it's been a while, but I did, the problem I had with Copperberg, if I come to Uckfield Civic Centre, am I going to see some Hondas? It's just not funny, Luke, sorry. Welcome to the chat, how are you this evening? Hydration is important. Yes, so our aim, as I say, this one is not shorting. This one is. if we can sort this one, then we sort our shorting problem. And then that means, I know someone who's got around the problems of shorting through brake gear by using 3D printed plastic brake shoes. That sounds like a fantastic idea, Linny. If only I knew someone that had a 3D printer. Sorry, couldn't help it. I'll let you off, Luke. I'm used to you making terrible jokes. So now I'm looking at that. I'm not sure if that's the brake gear or not. So I'm going to bend it well out the way. So I'm not really sure where I can put this, where you can actually get a decent view on the screen. Oh dear. Something just failed on my chat. Okay, so it's not the brake gear. Please come to Uckfield, Luke. I need to smack you around the back of the head for all of the bad puns. Brilliant. That's an interesting issue that we've just had there. Because in fact the thing it's telling me to do, I've already done. An annoying issue. So I'm going to take this wheel off. We're going to put some tape on like we have on here. And that will be how we try to fix this initially. Once we know it is working, there it is, we will insulate properly, as we have discussed before. Oh, I have not done the thing I thought I'd done. Right, that should work on my next one. Alex, are you coming? We'll be great to meet you. Alex, pay for me to get them. I'll be there. Very much look forward to finally meeting you and Gary. Excuses. Frank Bus from Scotland. Yeah, I mean, these guys are right, Luke. There is no excuse. Right, I've added some chat features. I know, scary professional YouTuber stuff. So, could someone please... To Uckfield from Scotland, goodness. Indeed, James, it's a long old trip. But Linny tells me the show is well worth it. Bit out of the way if you read. See Linny. But yes, so I've added some chat features. So I would really appreciate it if someone could test them for me. So what I need is someone to type in a command command that I will give you is exclamation mark website, and then press and just type that into chat, someone, please. I just want to see if it works. What that should do is get a link to the website pasted in chat. Excuse me, I live in the middle of nowhere, Norfolk, and can't drive. And I don't need kids. I have the free already. Yay! There we go. GaryBot 3.0 lives. Excellent. There are some other chat features, but I've not got a full list of them. Christopher does when he gets here. He's got a list of all of them. I sent them to him earlier. Ah, so happy that that's working. No, unfortunately, Kitten does not work. That's not one of them. I think one of them's Twitter, one of them's Instagram. There's probably some more. What can I claim? My most important command doesn't work. No, that one doesn't work either, unfortunately, Red. No matter how helpful it would be. Please refrain from spamming this awesome new feature. Yeah, thank you, Alex. I will post... Yeah. Only ones I've set up are going to work. Alex knows how they work. But yes, if we could avoid spamming now. Would be much appreciated. Well, you spell Instagram right then, Luke. Exclamation mark before it, and it should give you a link to my Instagram. Stop spam. Yes. That is somehow still shorting out. I cannot see anywhere that should be shorting out. That this wheel shouldn't, unless... Why would I need a link to it when I could just type it through Instagram search? Because, Luke, reasons. I'm just going to try directly on the pickups here. So that is not shorting out when it's not touching that wheel. Look, questions like that on the smack you around the head. What happens if you take the wheels out? Then it doesn't run. Linny. It is the wheel shorting out. which, as you can see, I've made its job as hard as possible with all that tape I've just added. But I've left a couple of bits of the bearing bare. But that shouldn't really affect it. Yeah, what Red said. Stationary boiler. Should only be the wheel rim that is capable of shorting. So once we've got it working and we're happy that we're not getting short circuits, we'll do a proper job on this, not using tape. But until then, let's use a set that don't actually have the ends covered up and joined together. I have a cunning plan for the actual insulation. But we need to get, it working first and make sure that we know where we're putting said insulation. That's not the screwdriver I want. You approve of cunning plans? Excellent. Hopefully this won't turn out to be a cunning plan of the Baldric level. That is still shorting. Much easier testing it this way now that I've remembered to bring the thing home. In fact, it's not even done. I didn't remember. I didn't go the week before, did I? So I wonder if it is to do with the bearing. Didn't those usually involve turnips? Quite often, yes. Gosh, this is electricity is tricky stuff. It can be a pain, but generally it's straightforward. Remember, this chassis is modified from how it is designed to be used anyway. So it's always possible that, it's my fault. Question: are the pickups touching any bare metal anywhere? Bit of solder on the PCB, etc. No, I'm not getting. If I have that wheel, if I don't have the wheels on the pickups, then I'm not getting a short. Might be worth putting tape between the pickups and chassis. It's the wheel, Linny. Because if I do that on the pickup now, I'm not getting a short. So it is the wheel rather than the pickup. but I just can't see why. You put the wheels on, presses the pickups in slightly. At the moment, the pressing it in, there's actually a bit of tape behind the pickup, so even if it presses it into anything, it is surrounded by tape. That's already been looked into. Is it electricity teaching electric to jump through hoops? It may well be. Yay, Gary Bot lives and posts automatic messages. That was what failed first time. Thank you, Gary Bot, for promoting my Twitter. You might have to let me know on Twitter how to make Streamlabs do auto messages. It's good, isn't it, Alex? I've even got a custom name on it, so it's not called GaryBot. It's not called Streamlabs, it's called GaryBot. Right, there is nowhere this can be shorting out now. Unless it's doing something stupid through the axle. Could that be a thing? Please let me know your wizard ways. I'm using their separate chatbot app, Alex, rather than the built-in to Streamlabs CloudBot. That's still a short. You're a wizard, Gary. I can't do a Hagrid voice, otherwise I would. The Streamlabs chatbot app is brilliant. There's games and everything built into it that you can program. So, yeah. I can't be bothered with that then. Typical. This is now very confusing. Because I have checked the wheel here just to make sure. And it seems to like some sections of the wheel and not others. So I think the insulation on this might be not great. You know, I don't do apps. I mean, it's just another program on your computer, Alex. So yes, there are some parts. It looks like the insulation on the wheel might be knackered. Which would explain a lot, really. Kind of explains all the problems. I'm so lazy. Yeah, but it's good. Although admittedly I had this same program sat on the old machine waiting for me to set it up, and I never did. It's only getting the new laptop that's made me set it up and make it work, and it's working brilliantly because I've got the chat up through that rather than through YouTube as well. So yes, there is definitely an issue with the insulation on the wheel. So hopefully you can see that well enough. So there, I'm not getting a short. There I am. So there's some sections of this wheel where the insulation is not working as it should. And it would appear one of those places is where it joins to the axle. So we're shorting out straight through the axle. That's a problem. Oh dear, are you not using scale link wheels? These are pre-scale link Romfords, Linny. That one's okay. That one's okay. That one seems to be okay. These are old wheels. Yes, they are old wheels. These wheels date from about 1990 if the receipt in the box is right. Right, so the plan now is that I'm going to put this knackered one onto this side, which is the side that we have left still shorting. And then I'm going to put this one that seems to be okay onto the other side. And we should hopefully be okay. At least that's the theory. And this is why, as James has been pointing out, multimeters are very handy bits of kit. And now there's no short. And there's no short on that wheel either. Let's put that to the side. And confirm that we have no short. That is still set up for the DCC Live. So I will go and flick the controller on. Well, that's definitely the short circuit noise. I have to try and pick one up, despite the fact he doesn't do electrics himself much. It's a good kit. It is still a good kit. That short is still causing us issues. Oh. That should be on there. It is a good kit. It is not the kit's fault that we are having these issues. The kits do not come with the wheels. Oh no, that is still there, so I can just solder that back on. Okay. While you're battling with short circuit noises, I've been customising short circuit noises in Train Controller. Awesome! Good to know we're all on the same page with short circuits. I much prefer long ones, but there we go. Hydration is important. And your soldering iron heating up is a good time to take your hydration break. So now I'm hoping the noise we got was just because coincidentally my shower just short-circuited. That's not a good thing to have short-circuiting corbs. I much prefer my water and electricity to give each other a bit of space. Well, that was definitely a very short circuit. Let's make sure it wasn't just because I put it on badly. Oh! I've just turned the track back on and it stayed on. Fizzy black sugar-free drink with a red label. Generic fizzy black sugar-free drink with a red label. A1. Glad you have an RCD and therefore are still alive. Indeed. I'm going to press a button. I've not fixed the problem with the motor yet, so I'm only going to press it for a second. It's alive. My circuits are much longer. They are the appropriate length circuits. It's alive. Problem is we now have to remember which side each set of wheels goes on. So there we go, guys. We started doing the electrics, what, 3 weeks ago now. I'm sure a lot of people would have given up. This is why you don't give up. Because there is progress to be made. The fact it's going wrong is irrelevant. You can fix it. And remember, GaryBot 3.0 says hydration is important. So glad to have got that chatbot going. Right, I couldn't not put that message in there. Yes, remember to smash that like button or give it a gentle tap. I like giving up, it's what I do best. No, Alex. Bad Alex. I'll put that in for next week if someone reminds me, James. I don't see people smashing like buttons. Well, you know what? That's the message that the bot tried to send when it got blocked. I think it's the toggle switch that's at fault on the shower too. I've gone before, possibly the extractor fan switch. If it's gone before, Corpse, get it changed. You should try to give up giving up. Exactly, James. No, remind Gary will never work. That command only works if you send me messages on Twitter. And as I know you don't have Twitter, James. Or in fact, RM Web, you're on there, aren't you? In fact, James, I was looking at your layout plan, Fred, for your 00 layout through the week, because I can't remember what thread I was reading, but you had commented on it and posted a link to that, and my god, does that look like a glorious plan. I'm a little bit jealous of it. I can't say hi, by the way. I seem to be intently fixated on the movement of your hands, Gary. Hello, Red's Cats. Have some hand movement. No, I'm definitely not putting that one on there. Definitely not putting an RM web chat command in. That's okay, James. I say it looks absolutely glorious. When I eventually have built the thing, you'll have to come and visit. That would be excellent, because that really was glorious looking. So, the motor issue. As you can see, the motor does actually turn on its own quite happily. Of course, what it's done here is push the axle out of the way. All I believe the issue is that my tabs are holding it down slightly too low. That's all I think it is. And once we have done that, we should be able to fit the wheels and have a fully working chassis. I haven't even had the baseboards put in yet, so I need to wire the N-gauge first. Indeed, these things do take time, don't they, James? It's like the plan. Quick, everyone to change his house for crumble. Oh yes, got to have crumble. Wouldn't that depend on what RM will do? Just respond with miscellaneous insults. Insult, your mother was a hamster and your father smells of elderberries. Yes. Excellent. Excellent indeed. Don't really want to take that cog approved fully working chassis. They're the best sort of chassis. I agree, they are very good to have. I've turned the iron off. Smash that like button. Welcome, Chris. Good evening. How are you this evening, sir? Cake is probably better than crumble for a mass gathering. I mean, that's a good point, James, but I mean, I'd rather have crumble, completely honest. Fancy had crumble for supper anyway. I don't know. Bring that big thermos of custard, love it. Okay. Crumble for yourself, of course. I am very well, thank you, Christopher. Now, you have a list of all my chat commands, don't you, Christopher? We've discovered that that's working. Smash it, need another 6 videos to get to 666. Well, I'll have 6 videos coming out over the next few weeks, Killian, so keep smashing that like button. Didn't you hit 666 the other day, though? So I'm sure you mentioned that. Very good, Corbs. Very good. Unfortunately, chat commands cannot do magic. Oh, Chris has a list, does he? I see mod favouritism. Well, Alex, he got sent it on Twitter. One of my mods stays off of social media on Sundays. I do. Yeah, see, I can't remember what they all are. I remember having the website, the Twitter, and the Instagram. I can't remember what else I set up. So that's down to you. I've deleted a lot. Fair enough. Personally, I'd go along deleting them as I added more. So I'm now just trying to melt the solder behind there. Actually going to turn the iron up a bit because it's having an issue with that. Cake better than crumble, pie better than cake. I don't know. No, unfortunately, I don't have a command for cake either. And I don't have one for hydration yet, James. I told you I'll do that for next week. If people want to send me ideas for commands, I'm happy to consider them. I literally just set that up about an hour before stream, actually. There we go. And that's moved it up slightly. Oh no! There we go. This is definitely a mission. Cake is soft and goes hard. Biscuit is hard and goes soft. So what the devil is biscuit cake? Confused, yeah. Does that make a treacle tart? Oh, I have to agree with James. Tasty, yes. So yes, Christopher, what other commands did I set up? I remember there being Twitter, Instagram and the website. I realise I'm opening up a minefield by asking because it did get quite badly spammed earlier. Oh, let's not dunk that in without pulling the lid off. That would be silly. Oh yes, I set up one for the Patreon as well, didn't I? I forgot about that. I think I'm not badly spammed. Well, spammed. I forgot I'd done one for the Patreon. I think Gary Bottle mentioned Patreon of his own accord at some point. Right, that feels much better. Upfield. Oh, that's a good one, James. That's a good one. How did I not? Muchly, Christopher. How did I not set one up for the show? Right, that's slightly too high. Is it just the one side that's too high, or is it on both? It is on both. Bit long, just Uckfield maybe, or Uckfield MRE, yeah. I'd probably go with Uckfield Show, to be honest, Alex. It's easier to say. But yes, I take your point. Brass. We will go with some more scrap fret. No, of course I can't run it all the way across, can I? That was a silly idea. That was a very silly idea. If you think that's what Thank you for the promotion there, Garybot 3.0. It is much appreciated. Good news, Mr. Host. The shape of the i3 on my iPad screen and on my PC screen agree with each other. That is very good. I'm glad to hear that. So yes, we just we need to tweak the position of the brass slightly. So they're now very slightly too high. I think you can add aliases since multiple variations bring up the same message. So you'd have upfield, up from shoulder. Yes, you can indeed. The main thing I wanted to do earlier was get the auto messages set up. And the commands were sort of an afterthought. But they seemed like a good idea at the time, so I thought I'd best do them. No, that's way too low. Again, if you were doing these kits as designed, then you wouldn't have to make your own motor mounts, and none of this would be needed. Put the screw back in so we know we're not pulling it to where it can't actually be. I mean, the thing is, depending on how good your phone is, this QR code will take you to the show's website. Should really put it in properly, shouldn't I? Teaching people about the trials and tribulations of kit modification, useful public service as always. Why, thank you, sir. That is indeed the sort of thing I aim to do. See, the problem here is it seems we want to move about 0.5 millimetre. It's a question, if there is part of your setting for layout that is something you don't personally agree with, but was a feature in your layouts era, would you still add it? I mean, it's history. You don't whitewash history. You don't have to agree with it, but for example, I'm against fox hunts, but the train was built in his head audience, they would have been there. Put them in. Hate it as well, don't believe in whitewashing history. Yeah. The fact that we don't agree with something now doesn't change the fact that it happened then. Society has evolved, that is a good thing. I mean, they wouldn't have been there every day. Well, no, that's true. I think I've knackered the hole that screw goes into. So I'll have to do something about that. I'm with Alex, historical content is always important with such things. At the same time, it's a hobby, I believe it's all down to your personal goals. Yes, it is all personal, but yeah, I'm not one, you know, to remove something from a historical setting because you don't agree with it can cause more problems than including it. Trying to add areas of interest to town, running out of ideas. As I often say when people start talking about whether pacers should be preserved. You know, the pacers are obviously a part of history. People don't like them. I think they should be preserved. Because those who forget history are bound to repeat it. I don't know who it was that originally said that quote. Not a fan of fox being actually killed, it's not as bad as it could be. Yeah. It's true. Just at a pub. Yeah, that seems perfectly reasonable. Not doing very well here with this bit, am I? Don't like pacers, but without them we wouldn't have many minor routes that are still open now. This is true. I remember Monty said that in one of my streams ages ago. Yeah, I agree with pacers. That they were the only way BR could compete with buses by running their own. This is true. And as someone who lives in a town where we did lose the railway and now have a bus service, trust me, you don't want that. So thankful we never had around here 150s, 156s were much better. Take your word on that. Right, I think that side is now okay, and we just need to lower this one back down a little bit. Haha, you lost a railway. We never had a station in Hartsey. Lost our railway, close one to Kidderminster. Now I have to deal with the hell that is Diamond buses. Yeah, I'm not even going to try and compete with my stagecoach service. Some of the stuff you've shown me. At least my buses generally aren't on fire. Although, to be fair, it's not like I get them anymore ever either. But there was a time when I lived in Uckfield that bus was my only means of travel. It's an hour by bus to get down to anyone I knew. The buses only ran once an hour, 7 till 7. Oh, got the cables caught there, that's not good. And they didn't run at all on Sundays. No, that's too low. One of my ancestors used to rob stagecoaches. Probably not owned by Stagecoach that exists now, though, to be fair. A nice feature most bus companies have buses that aren't on fire. I don't know what that's like. One of the benefits of owning vehicles, eh? Owning vehicles and having a licence to drive them, Luke. Not an option for some people, exactly. There we go. Must be spoiled in Edinburgh having 2 buses serve my flat, the least frequent of which is half hourly on a Sunday. I mean, that does sound very lucky, Linny. Got to be honest, but it's what happens if you're in a capital city, isn't it? Okay, that feels good. There we go. Garybot trying to earn its... Garybot 3.0 trying to earn its keep. I'm going to point out that it's a good time for hydration. Thank you, GaryBot 3.0, for doing your duty. So this is going to need replacing with a new screw and probably a bolt. I've knackered that hole taking it in and out so many times. But we are now at that point where I can at least try and stick it on the track and see what happens. So we're going to put the wheels back on and see if we can make it move. James approves of capital cities. I thought you might. I had got the impression you were a capital city type of guy. Buses here are pretty good. Wi-Fi in all of them, charged on about a third and rising. That's quite impressive. Yes. Still here, just lurking, figuring out pickup issues on the Lone Star 7F. Pickup issues are never fun, are they? Must be nice having buses under 12 years old. So on that note with Max pointing out there, anyone else working on any projects this evening? What have we got going on? I should put the tape back on before I do this, shouldn't I? In fact, it's here now. Before we take it back off, I mean, one or two of the routes I'm on, this bus less than a year old. Car. True modern buses. There's no short there. Yeah, there's no short at all. Working on the Hastings branch for us all to play on. Excellent. Decided to do the trains narrow gauge backdating as a stream project. Excellent. That sounds very good, Alex. I'm trying to set up a small corner of the N-gauge layout that I have wired to work with train controller. Very nice. Which I think the main area of Hickton is now done. Brilliant, Christopher. Well, before the stream I was unweathering some things, but then I ran out of cotton buds. Try not to dwell on the temptation. Our host threw at me earlier. Woo, no short. Yes, indeed, no short. I can't even remember what that temptation is. Never run out of cotton buds, Luke. Never, ever, ever run out of cotton buds. Well, I say that I can get input for all you fine people. Fine people watch my streams rather than all you fine people. Well, maybe all these fine people should be watching all your streams, especially your railway-related ones, Alex. Something about you can still do it. Oh, that. Okay. I get cotton buds from Ocado. Those ones came from Asda. I don't even shop in Asda. So it's quite impressive that I have some Asda ones when I don't even shop there, really. Yeah, my spare ran out as well. That's just terrible, Luke. There we go. Got hybrids on lots of routes. Oh, excellent. Very modern. It's good to hear about a competent bus company. Other supermarkets are available. Are they, though? That depends, Luke, because, you know, you told me other craft stores are available the other day. And then when I asked why you didn't go there, you said because you couldn't get to them, because there weren't any. They're only available if you can get to them. Most of our buses date from the year I started high school. I'm 30. I approve of heritage buses. Well, if you want to talk heritage buses, I might know someone who's got one. Couldn't think who it could be. I know I didn't test you, but don't be doing that to me. Do you know what? So do I. Not heritage, James. Rusty piles of garbage. Still heritage, though, even if they do have rust. Yeah. I mean, if you want to... Gary knows about rust. Oh, I do know about rust. An actual bus. Yes, a 1998 ex-Leyland Olympian double-decker. Right, so it's this wheel. Still shorts out. That's fine, we can solve that. Just looking and taking note of the show poster. It's good, isn't it? Stephen, yeah. Got to get the advertising in there somehow. '98 Heritage now. It is when it comes to vehicles of that type, yes, Linny. What does that make you? No comment? Like, if you saw the thing, you'd call it Heritage. In fact, you have seen the thing, Luke. Well, a picture of it outside the office. It is a bus that has been retired due to age twice. That's clearly heritage. Once by its original owner, once by a private coach firm who bought it. There's some videos of it running on YouTube. But yes, Stephen, if you're still there, if you come along, please do make yourself known. Plus, it has parts on it stamped Leyland. It has to be heritage. Yeah, I think I know the one. You do know the one. You all know my bus of the Twitter chat. In fact, there is a picture of the bus on my Twitter somewhere. Ooh, that's the wrong setting. That's why it's giving me the wrong display. Odd buses are cool, especially UK ones. Thinking about it, just checked the website, no listen about it. No, layouts are being made public on Thursday, Stephen. They are being printed in the Railway Modeler, who, for some reason, we're not allowed to say what's there until the Railway Modeler do. And then I will be doing a video of it as well, just to say what's there. And it should go up on the website on Thursday. Anyway, I'm falling asleep, so night all. Good night, Red. There is some very, very nice layouts coming this year, Stephen. It would be well worth the trip. I assure you. But as I say, I've got a list here within arm's reach, but I'm not allowed to say anything. Good news is it's not the wheel knackered this time. Okay, we'll look out for that. Excellent. So I say it will be in Railway Modeler initially. That'll be the first place to see it. I'm not going to put my video up until I have seen Railway Modeler and know it is out there, because I was specifically told you do not put anything out until the modeler has done it. I actually thought it was this Thursday just gone and had everything ready to do the release then, so it's a good job I did wait to see the modeler. Hope someone will be on guard at the show. What do you mean on guard? What do we need guards for? I wish I'd stop wrapping these up. I just don't see how it's still shorting. And I know this one isn't the wheel, I've just checked that. I suppose I should check the back as well. Yeah. The insulation on the wheel is fine. Like the place because of the vandalism that happened during the summer. Oh, I mean, there's going to be as much. there's not going to be any increased presence than normal. It's a secure building. This will be the 25th show we've hosted there. And that stuff at Market Deepin was a load of kids breaking into their own school to play football, apparently. Show that was wrecked was a freak occurrence, very unlikely to happen again. Yeah, exactly. As I say, it was apparently they were kids at the school it was being held at. They'd broken in to play football, saw all this stuff there when they broke in, and decided to carry on playing football anyway. And then started smashing stuff up once, obviously, the ball had started flying. Yeah, it's very unlikely that we'll see something like that again. Although the fact that they barely got punished is not reassuring. Oh yeah, there was alcohol involved. There was a lot of alcohol involved. It's one of the mitigating factors, apparently. They didn't know what they were doing. They were drunk. Maybe they shouldn't have been drinking then, since they were only kids. Right, there we go. There's no short now. Slap on the wrist, minor fine paid by parents. Exactly what I expected from our justice system, and I'll say no more. Exactly, Alex. It was all I expected. Another wheel shorting. Yes, I didn't put the tape back on. I was hoping it'd be okay. But it's not the wheel that's damaged this time, Linny. It's the rim connecting with the chassis, which is fine because when we do the insulation properly, once we know everything works, long better than short. Exactly. Let's at least pretend this screw still fits in the hole, shall we? Right, that's irritating. The multimeter said it was fine, now it's shorted out again. Change the subject, I am downloading coal mines. I didn't know coal mines were something you downloaded. I thought you dug holes in the ground. Right, that's got some shorts on it where it's not tightened up properly. That's got some shorts on it where it hates me. Because, you know, that's what electronics does. Brickworks is going to be a coal mine to provide part of a natural industry to serve. Fair enough. If good source of coal mines, we should notify on Twitter. So, any 19th century style industrial buildings, Kirshman, okay, we'll let you know. I've just gone to the DLS and downloaded everything returned for coal mine. That's how I do it as well. Hydration is very important, kids. My phone's just popped up telling me I've been using it for too long. I really do need to get a proper camera sorted out. Going to refill the generic black fizzy sugar-free drink. Asking for a fragrance 4ml kit with that M&S WJR logo. I can't remember what one it was, Christopher, but I know there are some kits of M&S WJR, so quite possibly. I don't know about Engage, but I know there is 4ml of some stuffs. Coal traffic, it's a minefield. Oh dear. Oh dear. $260, I'm not sure. There might be. There may well be. There is nowhere exposed for this to be shorting against, unless it is that I've knocked. I wonder if I have knocked that pickup. It looks like I have. It looks like I've bent that pickup slightly, and that might be contacting the chassis. I think that's the problem there, because that's not shorting now. That could be it. Well, I think I'm going to have to take the wheels off and rebend that. As I say, moving it there did sort it. So I think that's what I've done, is I've bent the pickup and it's contacting the chassis slightly. Never mind. Rebuilding one would be an interesting project. It would. You're quite right, Corbs. Change the rots to the kit for the unrebuilt one, but only in 7mm. Albion used to do a 4mm unrebuilt kit. Really? If Albion did one, then it's very strange that Roxy don't, because Roxy sells all the Albion kits. There they are. So yes, when fitting that, I've bent, you can just see the pickup wire coming out there. I've bent it slightly and it's pushing itself up into the chassis now. It was a very silly thing to do, but thankfully it's a very easy fix. The only problem, of course, is getting at it. Albion 1 is the rebuild. No Formula original style one I can find. Watch out saying things like that, Christopher. People will hold that against you in this chat. Alex tried it before you got here. Saying what? Stupid GWR. I think I've gotten it away. Galloping S 7mm kit is a commercial proposition. It also sells NS type in modelers. I'll just stick to the virtual form. There is that. Just check that end's not shorting out. Oh no, that one appears to be fine. That is still shorting out. Oh, what a pain. This is why you be careful of your fragile things. How the YouTube view count on screen says 5 all night when we have been averaging 9 to 12. So it does. That's weird because obviously that's Streamlabs put that there, and Streamlabs also currently tells me 11. So I must prefer, as a number, I prefer 11. Yep, 11 is right at the moment. Oh look, there's GaryBot plugin Instagram. Thank you, GaryBot 3.0. Right, let's see if that cured that then. No. That's reading as a short, which with this pulled away must be this one shorting. That's still reading as a short. Excellent. About to be 10, off to bed. Good luck with the electricity. Well, thank you for coming, Stephen. Was good to see you here. Good night. Sleep well. And I shall see you again next week, hopefully. We had this solved earlier. Remember when we had this solved? That was a good time. I liked that time. And those pickups are now not reading as a short. See, this is why I don't trust electrics, and you're right to not trust them. The wheels are fine. So it is the rim touching, but it is the rim on this side that is doing the touching. It's very naughty of it. But it's okay, we still have a cunning plan to fix it permanently. Bad wheel rim, exactly. Very bad wheel rim. Down and down. No short. No short is the best type of short. Still no short. Quite clearly a short. You've got to turn it on first. It helps if you turn the multimeter on before trying to use it. No short. No short. No short. No short. Short. That's not right, is it? Multimeter, Alex. Short and short, as we expect. No, it's definitely a multi-thingy. No, it's definitely a multimeter. How very strange. May need to add washers around the wheels. No, washers around the wheels are not needed. That would just make them too far out. If they were done uptight, they wouldn't be wobbling, and so that would resolve issues. It lived for a moment. It's making noise. It's working. The motor span a bit and everything. How splendid. Indeed it is. This is rather odd. But yes, it worked, it ran, it moved. That is what I call progress as we enter the final hour of the stream. Hydration is very important. I have a horrible feeling we've shorted this one too many times. Look at how loose that wheel. The chip might have given up the ghost. I'm thinking it might have done. I'm reading short circuits where I would not expect them. The chip might have had enough. Because I do believe that that should not be a short circuit. I'm also quite certain that that should not be a short circuit, since we have a big bit of insulation there that we can see. I also don't think this should be a short circuit, as again, big bit of insulation that we can see. I'm getting a oh no, I'm not. I was getting a short across the wheels when I did that earlier, which we shouldn't do. We got a short across these wheels, but not across these wheels, which makes no sense to me. Because, I mean, essentially the wheels are one unit, so any short on the wheels should come across. There's no short there. There is there, so it's got an intermittent short circuit somewhere. To help the channel, can't afford to each month. One-off donations can be made here. Okay, there we go. GaryBot 3.0 clearly has the spelling capability of GaryBot 2.0. So perhaps you could fix that by going to the link currently in chat. It's down here in the bottom corner of the screen as I'm saying this. Hopefully my finger gets there in time. Not good. Electrical shorts are not your best friend. No, they are not. As well as me pointing and it's long gone off the screen. I mean, there's a short circuit on there, but a second ago the short circuit went away without me having done anything. Turns out GaryBot 3.0 is faster than 2.0. No, it is not. It's not faster than GaryBot 2.0. GaryBot 2.0 built GaryBot 3.0 as a servant. Which could be why it inherits some of GaryBot 2.0's spelling. Maybe the wheels are die-cast, not insulated. We've already checked the wheels to make sure they're insulated, Max. Now that's interesting. There's no short circuit there. There was a second ago. It's gone away. Now it's back. Now there's no short circuit. Now there's a short circuit. Don't think anyone predicted that the singularity would be called GaryBot 3.0, but life is full of surprises. Well, it had to be called something. But yes, Max, I can confirm here that the wheels are insulated. There is no short circuit there. Don't know how well you can actually see the screen on that multimeter, but there is no short circuit between the wheel rim and wheel centre. Yeah, Singularity's got to have a name. Why not GaryBot 3.0? Hashtag GaryBot 3.0 for Prime Minister. Just in case. Still shorting. Okay. Right, that pickup is definitely not definitely isolated now. What happened to GaryBot 2.5? Why would I need an upgrade? Right, there's an interesting one. I'm still getting a short circuit. I think the chips had it. Because I'm still getting a short circuit and there is no way those pickups are touching anything. Well, isn't that fun when stuff like this happens? Welcome to the dark minefield that is DCC, ladies and gentlemen. Where we are still getting a short circuit. How can you test the chip? The easiest way would be to use a different chip. I don't have any in stock. I like DCC. This is splendid. It allows me to automate stuff. However, building locomotives seems harder than it perhaps ought to be. No, this is modifying locomotives to take motors they're not designed to is harder than it perhaps ought to be. I'll tell you what, I've got some upcoming projects that will show how easy building locomotives can be. Some of which arrived this week. And I'm very, very happy to have got my hands on one. But blooming heck is it heavy. Turn that off. Yeah, they're definitely not shorting out. You can see that is up on there. That is up on there. They are not touching any of the brake rigging. Midland spinner, excellent indeed. It came up on eBay and I could not let the opportunity pass. N7s are industrials, right? No. But yes, I love single wheelers. I'm just giving the whole thing a look over, as I don't want to write off the chip if there is something really obvious wrong. Could try taking the chip out. I could, but it's hardwired. You know, my wires to the pickups are the wires to the chip. Do I even have a... Oh, I do have a DC controller out here. I have no opinions on the spinner. Do you not, Alex? Do you not at all? I haven't got Gladstone yet. Oh, there's my cable. Right. over by the layout. Ugh. Gladstone, that'd be a thing. Well, I'd love to build Gladstone on stream. I have 2 gem B1s. They're both built. There we go. Chip is removed. Just dropping random commands there, are we, Christopher? It's no short circuit now. It's not the pickups. It's not even one there. There's the closest plug. You said you'd love to be able to do Gladstone. Yeah, but as I said, I've got 2 of them, Christopher. The problem wasn't a financial one, it was an I have 2 of them one. Motor runs just fine. Oh yes, thank you GaryBot 3.0. Hydration is indeed important. I do remember the request about the B1 you sent, Alex, don't worry. It is still getting that same identity. And he says, and I don't need a third. And there is no short across there. I mean, what can I say? Actually, the only change I've made here is to remove the chip. And the intermittent short circuit has gone away. See, if there was a short circuit, then the display changes like that. If I touch these pickups, it does not, because there is no short circuit. Even if I... oh, there we go, there's one. touching that wheel. That's obviously, oh yeah, that's touching the brake gear here, you can see that. Tried checking the chip motor combination outside the body. Indeed I could. Now that the chip is out, there is no harm in doing that. There we go. It sounds like the chip took one short too many and gave up. It could well be, but the chip's only a tenner, so it's not the end of the world if I need to replace it. There's, you know, there's much more expensive bits I could have to replace. Now, of course, the problem is I don't actually have any loose wires of the DCC variety. So the only way to test this is using the rails. Cheap as chips. Close enough, yes. But I need to order some more as it is. Right. That is powered up. Test on DC, we just did that. What you need is some wires with crop clips, and then you clip to the rails. Yes, yes I do, Linny. But my crop clips are somewhere known only to my crop clips. Oh! It's the chip. The chip's dead. All that work for a dead chip. Shorting out the controller as soon as they touch the track. Well, that's a pain. Let's turn the power off on that. Took one too many, couldn't cope anymore. Yeah. Exactly, Alex. It happens. So I say, these chips are only a tenner, so although it's not ideal, it could be worse. We will keep them that way round, and then I will remember where they all go. In fact, it's probably worth putting them back together, because then I know which side the wheels go on, because as we've discovered, my wheels need to be handed. All that time fixing non-existent short circuits, eh? Well, they might not have been non-existent, but right now it feels like they were. Good thing Kato's come to UK, but things are going to be expensive. Yes, they are. Sorry about the chip. Worse things have happened, Corbs. So I say, it's only a cheap Lay's DCC 6-pin thingy. It's not like it's an expensive chip. Suggest you put a dot of paint on the wheels for one side, or on the back side. Yes, that would work. I mean, for most people that would work. But I'd end up forgetting what side the dots go on, etc. You know me, Linny. I say, there's worse problems. I shall order a new one later in the week. I need to get some wheels ordered from Slater's for another project as well. But they were out of stock of what I needed. Did I say from Slater's? I didn't mean from Slater's. This isn't 7mm. I meant from Scale Link. I have all the Slater's wheels I need. But yes, they didn't have all the ones I needed at the time, and I thought it was a bit pointless ordering a load of wheels and then having to order more a week later and pay delivery again because they're for the same project. Yes, I think the higher price of Kato will be worth it as well, Alex. I quite agree with that. And that project that we need to order the wheels for will be the planned next big project, which shall show a chassis designed with the motor designed for it. Hide away these extra details I've been buying for it to modify the kit. I believe this one's the chassis. Yes. So in these older wheels kits, there is your chassis. It is a lump of white metal. It is designed for a Triang motor, which just sits in place like that. It even has the screw hole pre-aligned for it. So, I need to, once they come back in stock, I need to get the wheels ordered for this. Body-wise, it is all just very easy stuff, much like the i3. There you go, look, the thing's practically built already. Beautiful, although it looks like a Furnace Railway K2. No, it does not. It's much nicer than a K2. Hooray, better yet, as I can watch it again as I build mine. Ah! Really, Harry? Very nice. Everyone should have a D. So yes, it's very similar kit in its construction. What's that there? That's the tender side. It's again big one piece tender. The SECRD is a work of art. Indeed it is, Alex. Hope Chris Wilson does one for Train Sim at some point. It is a stunning locomotive. And tender frames. Again, it's all very nice stuff. Being wheels, this is a very old kit. But you can see the castings are fine on them. Plenty of small details. Cab interior. There's obviously a bogie in there somewhere. Bogie side frames. That'll be the main bulk of the bogie there. I've advised many people that their first kit should be a wheels kit. Put them back in. Because they are wonderful. And the cast chassis makes them very easy to build. Oh, and of course they're local to me, so that, or were local. Well, South East and Finecast still are local to me. Wheels were in their day as well. Where might it be possible that I could get one? These are now, I mean, if you want the original wheels one, you'd have to find it on eBay. They're very rare, unfortunately. However, the kit is now made by South East and Finecast. So, you can get it from them, but you will get the newer, much better etched chassis. So they can be had. It just depends on whether you want to wait for one to come up from Wheels on eBay, or if you want to get a South East and Finecast one with the etched chassis. I fully intend still to get an SECR R1 at some point in the future. Well, I mean, rather than a kit, you could just get the ready-to-run model. Rather have a cast chassis, though. Yeah, the cast chassis is much, much easier to use than the etched one. When you're first starting out, you won't have any all the problems we've had like this. You just won't have them. The person to talk to about the South Eastern and Chatham R1, Alex, is Mr. Turbo Snail, Tom. He is who you want to talk to regarding Chatham R1s. He knows them very well. He has more of the old Hornby 00 ones than you'd ever believe, and he has done a 3D printed chassis for it. But I have an event to go to and a train show to save up for. Well, I mean, if you can get a D class, I mean, do you really need any other train stuff? South Eastern Finecast even do a transfer set for it. Oh yes, I've talked about it once back on that place. Probably get a Ren R1 and mod it. As you should, Luke. That's what I did. Details are on my RM web, Fred. So, guys, we've got a choice now. We've got half an hour left-ish. Shall we go back to this and get some paint on it? Or shall we play with something else out of the small kit box? You shouldn't be in the small kit box. Because I have things like a new cast 5-plank open. You go with this. A choice, I say kittens. Not kittens, then the carriage. Right, there we go, that's 2. Yeah, all these votes for the carriage right there. Let me grab my paint. Have one of these nice big trays absolutely full of paint. Obviously when I'm doing streams where I'm painting stuff, I have all this in advance. But you may want to discount my vote as I'm about to go to bed. No, your vote's still as valid as any others. Yeah, it is olive. That looked brown for a minute there. Sheffield R1 already painted SC olive. Shame it isn't modded any further. I think the number is wrong. See the coach next to your other 2 Stroudley carriage designs. You want to see the coach next to your carriage, and I take it the Thomas ones then, Linny. My God, where is the paint for this? That may be close enough. That may be close enough. Afraid I have to go to Leicester tomorrow, so I must leave you now. Oh, you have my sympathy, James. I went to Leicester once. I never intend to go again. There we go, Marsh Umber. Good night, James. I hope you sleep well. Right then, let me grab the other designs of Stroudley carriage for Linny. Question now is, what have I done with that loose Thomas one? Because it does not appear to be in the box where they live. Oh, yes it is. Oh, they're not the colours I want. Like, oh, may even be filled with kittens and carriages. Veto the kitten idea. Allergies and phobia puts me off. Yeah, that's probably a good reason to veto the idea. So there we go, 3 designs of Stroudley carriage. Turn that round and its coupling isn't sticking out in the way. And I believe these two may actually be the same diagram. Three excellent carriages in different mediums. Indeed. They are all very nice. So there is Linny versus Kays. I think I prefer the waistline beading on Linny's and the ventilators on the Kays, if I'm being honest. Good evening, Code Monkey. Hello. How are you this evening? Welcome to the chat. But yes, I think the waist beading is definitely better on Linny's. Obviously the ventilators have more detail on the Kays. And obviously the underframe has more detail on the Kays, but there was modification to backdate it. And when it comes to Linny's versus the Bachmann, Linny's wins every time on every front. There is no competition in that. Indeed, limitations of card. They are extremely good carriages. And obviously allow better detail in a modification than the Kays ones, which, you know, the length of modifications is cut bits off of them and replace the roof so that you can have the right type of lamps. Not the greatest amount of modification ever. So, we voted for putting some paint on this. We've got 20 minutes. We're going to put some paint on this. We're going to start with the matte 32. It's very dark grey and is my stand-in for black. Yes, indeed. The limitations of card. It's not a criticism. It's a, you know, it's an amazing job that you've done on them still. I need to move it out the way now, though. It's blocking this poster that it's definitely not shameless self-promotion in any way whatsoever. Oh look, kids go free. Now really, this should be in primer before I do this, but as we are still sat in my living room and the spray booth is not accessible from here, that's not going to happen. Obviously, if I'd have planned on doing this evening, then I would have put some primer on it through the week, because I do now have some. Modding the LBSC linears would win for me. Yeah. K's is not really an option these days. You know, these are very rare carriages. Might as well paint both at once. This is true. This is very, very true. Your one at least has primer on it. So once we're in the new studio, there may be an update on that next week, we shall see. Then the spray booth will be accessible during the streams. So when we're doing stuff like this, we will be able to spray. Which will then see the bulk of my painting done on stream to be with the airbrush. So if K's were available, I'd go with Linny's. They went together so easily. That is true. Linny's carriages are excellent for going together. They are a truly joyous kit to build. So I do thoroughly recommend them. They are my personal favourite of the Stroudley carriages as well. And I will definitely be getting some more. Oh, hello there, GaryBot 3.0. Apparently I have a Twitter. As I'm sure you can tell, we have cycled round all the messages that I set up for the bot. You flatter me. It's true, Linny. They are. They are the best Stroudley carriages out there, as far as I'm concerned. A little late to the party. Nothing terrible, I think. Good evening. It is good to see you here. I was wondering if you would make it. How are you this evening? Lenny, put that on the page. It's a truly joyous kit to build. Famous streamer, Oak Hill Model Railway. I think the price is enough to make them better. This is also true. The price is fantastic on the Linny carriages. So yes, unfortunately, you turning up this late, you have missed the work we have been doing on the i3. But well, the problem with that is that the DCC chip has died, so needs replacing. So there's not really a lot I can do with it at the minute. That is a heck of a review. It is all true. Should maybe have painted the brown first. The thing is, they're not actually brown. They are mahogany. I am tempted to do the 2Ks ones. What colour are you using there, Gary? It is Humbrol Matte 32. Which is what I use as my, it's very dark grey, works well for doing black. Doing breezy, could use a good dinner about now, fair enough. So I'll be wanting to use a decent bed in about 10 minutes, as it is now 10 to 12. However, I won't be going straight to bed. I will actually be recording another video when the stream ends. So whilst you all get to go to bed when I finish, or, the UK based ones of you get to go to bed when I finish, I've got another video to record. And I've still got to be up for the school run in the morning. Good Lord, man, go to bed. No, I have to get this video recorded tonight. It needs to release on Tuesday. And I'm not going to get time to record it and edit it tomorrow. Now the good thing about the Linny kit is the body's not currently attached to the chassis. So I can pop that off. And I can get these done much quicker. No sleep for the weary modeler. No, exactly. The life of a YouTuber indeed. But once that video is filmed, I will be going to bed. It can get edited tomorrow, but I won't have time to film and edit and upload. So it'll get filmed tonight, edited tomorrow, uploaded Tuesday morning. Ready to go live Tuesday evening. Someone remind me why I decided YouTube was a good idea. Oh, and there's my fingers in it. That was silly. So, yes, to add to the review, much easier to paint than the K's ones as well, as long as you do the painting at the right time when they've not been fully put together. So yeah, how long do you spend editing? On average, I mean, it's sped up now that I've got the new laptop. On the old laptop, a 5-minute video to get edited was taking about an hour, if you include the rendering time. However, on the new laptop, we're looking closer to 10-15 minutes. There is not a lot of editing that I do in my videos. You may have noticed this. Most of my videos are still one takes. Can't really talk. After I finish stream, I do the whole export in the VOD thing, so I'll be ready in the morning. Ad revenue is mad dollar. No way. It's for the love of the craft. The ad revenue is not mad dollar. In fact, the ad revenue is currently 0. The stream is supported by Patreon. Link in the description down below. There is no ad revenue to speak of. So that is the 2 chassis painted. Don't they look good? Yes, they do. I'm also going to give the interior of this an all over black. Yeah, the whole, my videos are one takes. There is a broken buffer. There is a broken buffer. Need to get 1,000 subs before you can monetize. Indeed, I am at 114 last time I checked. Could be 113. Something around there. It's enough that YouTube pay attention to me, not enough that they will monetize me. So, interiors, like this, I just paint black. And the reason I paint my interiors black is because I do not detail them. Just realised that now. 117! Oh, brilliant! That makes me very happy. So yes, the black allows you to still look through, and the partitions still have an effect because you're looking through the windows and they're being blocked, but it also disguises the fact there is no actual detail in them. I mean, by the time there's a roof on them and everything, the detail becomes very hard to see in 4mm. I do have some carriages that I did full detail on, I just didn't feel it worth it. But you'll see here, these are quite obviously no detail in the ones that haven't been painted. The one at the end just sort of disguises all that. And as that's going past in a train, you could, you know, if you're not going to notice, you could put some representation of passengers in there and stuff still. But it's not going to show up quite so much that it's a bare interior. I normally use real black for this as opposed to my dark grey, but I don't have any. More important if you do carriage lighting. Yes, if there's carriage lighting, then having an interior is a bit more important. But as I say, there's a rake. I went all out on the details, where it's a push-pull rake, and I managed to track down some pictures of the driver's cab and got all the controls and everything in there accurately. And you can't see any of it, really. And the fact that you can't see any of it kind of put me off spending that much effort on interiors. Alex the Mole, don't say sub. YouTube counts that as spam. No, it doesn't. My live chat does not auto put any messages that YouTube counts as spam. Anything potentially spam is held back for me to review. So if it gets through without me having to interact with it, it's not spam. I mean, we're ignoring here the fact that Alex has free reign to print whatever he wants. His messages will never be held back because of his moderator access. You need to get black styrene. I have some, but it is too thick. So I just went with the thinner stuff. But I prefer the painted finish. Bare styrene is shiny. So as it's going past, if light gets into it, it shines. Which brings about its own problems with the viewing the interior. Talking about submarines is disallowed then. Don't think I've ever had spam. Oh, I've had a few messages held for review, but none of them have ever been actual spam. Yeah, there has been stuff held back before for me to make sure it's not spam before being posted, but never any actual spam. Other brands of sandwich are available. I was in a sub eating a sub. 4 subs are a bit late for this era. Sub is a sandwich, not a brand. Brilliant. Ever told you guys how brilliant you are? Because I don't think I tell you enough. Right, and it is midnight, folks. I'm going to finish off painting this compartment and we're going to round up the stream. So, aware of your chat modifier powers. So, I would like to thank you all for coming. It has been absolutely wonderful again. So it's been a busy day today. It has been very nice to sit here and relax with you all. So thank you very much for being here. You are indeed all very, very awesome. We should see the chat bot pop up again in a second. Yeah, you want spam? I've got an actual chat bot. Literal definition of spam. You should pop up in a second, since it is now midnight. He's on a 15-minute timer. Wow, time science been also giving me too much credit. There we go. There's the chat bot to remind us it is indeed the time to end the stream. So we can see here that it does look much better for being black. So thank you all for coming. You have been awesome as always. I have had a great time. Please do come again. And I shall see you next week. Bye for now.